Hello everyone and welcome to the 2025-2026 Miami Hurricanes home opener right here in Kendall Ice Arena. I'm Connor Stein calling all the action for you today. This afternoon, FAU takes a trip south to Miami to take on the Hurricanes. Yesterday, there was an exhibition between these two squads that took place in which this FAU team took down the Hurricanes 7-4. Today, this game will count for the standings for each team's M3 squads, but it will be pretty similar rosters across the board for both teams. Yesterday, Ilana Stulin had a power play goal for the Hurricanes, as well as Riker Ferry with tacking on 2 goals himself, and Chris Michelini with a goal as well. So Miami will have to kind of lean on those guys to help themselves on offense, but on the defensive side of the ice, that's where they really struggled yesterday, allowing 7 goals. So finishing back checks and making positive forechecks happen is going to be really crucial for Miami today as they get their first game going in the regular season towards the standings. This year looks a little different for this University of Miami program, and many programs like themselves in the south half of the United States as they said farewell to their former conference of the AAU and headed to the ACHA, which is the larger body that had a lot more teams in the national aspect of things. But it'll be interesting to see as the year goes on how that kind of takes a toll on the players. It's a lot of the same teams, but the ACHA really extends who the Hurricanes can potentially play at the national level as both teams get set for the national anthem here as warm-ups conclude. It's looking like we're going to have puck drop here right at 2:30 around. But for right now, we will take a pause for the PA announcer and the national anthem. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with puck drop right after this PA announcement and the national anthem. We're going to take this time to introduce the starting lineups for Miami and FAU. Miami, Max Mensimer, who's in his grad year for the Hurricanes, along with Chris Michelini, who's going into his junior year, Ilana Stulin in his senior year, and Riker Ferry, who had a pair of goals yesterday, back for his grad year as well, and Evan Sudeikis going into his senior year. And then between the pipes, it's Max Hoffman, who was the primary goaltender last year for the Hurricanes. And on the side of the Owls, it's Sam Watson and a couple others as well that we'll get confirmation of with names as we go on. But for now, we'll listen to the PA. And that concludes the national anthem and the starting lineups for both of these squads. Just moments away from puck drop here. We do have some confirmation on the names of the starting lineups for these FAU Owls. It'll be Jake Butchie Gross, the defenseman from Weymouth, Massachusetts. For them, Sam Watson, Andrew Watchamich, Anthony Barry, and then Anthony Campagna as well for the Owls. The Hurricanes rocking all white tonight with some green pants to complement them as well, with orange and green stripes across, while FAU has a new uniform combination that they're pulling out this year for their M3 team. It's blue and red stripes on the socks with kind of a blue tarp on top as well. But both starting lines will start as this place gets ready. It's Elon Astulin and Sam Watson as Sam Watson wins it back. And FAU starts with the possession here for the Hurricanes. That was shot on net, backhanded by Michelini and saved. Quick start for Miami. They already get an offensive zone chance. They lost the draw, but Michelini with a great job on the backhand, just getting some kind of pressure on net. They were doing a great job last time, in the last game, with getting pucks on net early in the first period, but it kind of fell apart as the game went on. They were up 4-1 in that first period, but ended up losing the game 7-4. So Miami has just got to play all three periods clean and smart, and they should be okay. As Riker Ferry steps in for the Hurricanes to take on Watson. Riker loses that draw as Watson flicked it in to the netting, so they will reset in the offensive zone for the Hurricanes. Miami trying to redeem themselves after last year. They had a solid year, but went 0-3 in nationals. As here's a centering try. Mensimer keeps it in the zone. There's a distance try, rebound, kept out. Another attempt right on. Astulin finds it. It's in the corner. Behind the net it goes. Astulin up to Mensimer. Mensimer shoots it wide. Michelini trying to tack onto it. Zdekis able to push it down. Backhanded try by Ferry goes wide. As the Owls try to get it out, but a great glove by Zdekis as we get a blown whistle for a hand pass, and it'll go right outside that blue line. 19 minutes left to go in this first period of play. Miami leaving off right where they left off in that first period that they did so well last night. Let's see if they're able to keep the pressure on the Owls. Able to keep the puck in the zone as Kagan is able to find it for the Hurricanes, but it's pushed back out as Moore tries to push it out. He does so successfully into neutral ice. It's taken back by Kyle McGuire. Stretch pass for Kagan to no one in particular, and McGuire ends up with it back on his stick. Moore chips it ahead for Way. Way makes a good move. Goes around the defender. Back up to McGuire. McGuire goes over to Kagan. Kagan with a shot. Glove down. And saved by the Owls. I would like to apologize. We do not have the name of the goaltender for FAU. as it is the first week of the season, so rosters are still kind of finalizing themselves. But great opening first shift there for Ryan Way, the freshman from Newtown Square, as another opportunity right on net, and it's corralled again. Miami putting their foot to the gas here in the offensive zone in the first period. Del Duco comes in, and Brandon Stein does a turnaround pass that goes out of the zone over to Max Hoffman. Kept in the zone is Baker. Baker loses that puck, though, for the Owls. Heavy pressure on the blue line. Bodies colliding, and ending up with it is Callahan. Callahan goes around on the backhands, and it gets sticked aside. Brennan Stein behind the net, right in front. Another try for Phillips, goes just wide. Callahan behind the net, looking for contact in front, goes off a couple of sticks and ends up on an FAU Owl stick. It's somehow kept in the zone by Del Duco as he gets a shot, and it's covered. Miami being very persistent here in the offensive zone. They've controlled pretty much all of the possession here in the first 3 minutes of this hockey game, as Miami sends their top line back out. As the Stuhlin tries to get a shot on net, it goes wide. A big hit by Mensimer, and there's going to be a delayed penalty as Sudeikis will tag it, and Mensimer will head to the box for interference is the signal. So with just under 17 minutes left to go in the first period, Miami will already be on the penalty kill and have to face the top dogs of this M3 FAU Owl team. Be a 2-minute minor. Mensimer, the grad student from Glenwood Springs, Colorado, will serve it. Down low is Barry, right on, and it misfires and heads out of the zone. That one's sticked away. There's Jusko on the penalty kill. He's able to find that puck, get a shot on net, and it's blockered away. But a great persistent penalty kill here by the Hurricanes, more in particular the transfer from Tennessee in his second year with the Hurricanes, Jack Jusko. Watson retreats for the Owls as they try to recuperate. Arm in the air as Watson finds Campagna. Goes around the net. Back up top to Watson. Watson with a try, and it goes off a couple of skates in front. Ends up right behind the net. Another try goes behind the net. Heavy pressure here by the Owls as they look to open up the scoring here. Watson misfires a pass. Goes back up to the blue line. Behind the net now. Hoffman tries to stick it away. Gets through a couple of bodies and ends up flying down the ice. Watson comes out for the Owls. He's got some health with him as Barry takes a shot that goes into the netting. And with 19 seconds left to go in the power play for the Owls, Miami has done a solid job of penalty killing, but FAU is still showing that they can provide that offensive pressure and make you pay in their offensive zone if you get them the chance. Shows how they were able to put 7 goals on the board yesterday, as Butchie Gross has it. In the near side zone, there was a deflection in front. Another try, and it's gobbled up there by Max Hoffman. That buck was kind of dangling in front of the net, right in front of that blue paint, and Max Hoffman was able to collect it and get it out of harm's way. Just 8 seconds left to go left in the power play. Butchie Gross wins it, goes D to D. There's a fake try. Back to Butchie Gross. As the penalty expires, the stooling comes back on the ice. Excuse me, it was not a stooling. A stooling came out because of Mensimer as he comes with the puck. Mensimer drops back for Ferry, but that pass is misfired. As here come the Owls. There's a shot, and it's saved by Hoffman, but it wasn't completely in his glove. The puck was still right outside of that blue paint, but he was able to make the save. So a good penalty kill there for the Hurricanes to relieve any offensive pressure that the Owls were supplying, but they'll have to keep that going as Ferry's able to push it out of the zone. Puck and neutralized. Butchie Gross able to find Barcharvich. Michelini battling in the corner. And Mensimer is able to free it ahead, saucers it, but it misses Riker Ferry's stick. Let's Go loses that puck, and a Stoolen comes with a head of speed. Excuse me, that was not a Stoolen, that was the freshman Ryan Way, who has really made his presence known in his first two shifts for the Hurricanes. He had a really good chance in his first shift, and already coming on with a full head of steam. Just what the Hurricanes really need. That's what they kind of lacked last year, was that offensive depth that really could have took them far. Just not enough goal scorers across the roster as Zdakis takes a shot that goes wide. Mensimer able to keep that one in the zone, not for long, as it ends up on a blue jersey stick. Mensimer able to find Way. Jutsko battling with Watson. Watson tries to ring it around the boards, ends up on Zdakis' stick. Moore puts it down low for Way. Way with the centering feed for Jutsko that goes off the stick. Second try for Mensimer goes wide off his stick as well. And is collected behind the net for the Owls. Big heavy hit by Moore in the corner. Mensimer takes a slap shot. It's a big block right there by the Owls. That one's going to hurt tomorrow as Moore tries to enter the zone but can't find the puck. It's taken by the Owls as they try to break out. Sent down the ice. Hoffman elects not to play it, so it's picked up by Mensimer. Along the boards it goes now. Through neutral ice, it's Way with Del Duco and Brennenstein. Sticked away by the Owls and sent out of the zone. It's Callahan that loses his handle on that. Phillips tries to hit Callahan and he finds it. Gets around the Owl. Tries to get it in front and it's covered after a great recognition of the puck by Brennenstein. He ended up finding it right on the doorstep, but a great cover there by the Owls goaltender. So another offensive draw here for the Hurricanes. Castricani couldn't keep it in the zone, so it's sent out. Phillips trying to stick it away for the Hurricanes. He does so successfully, and it's put across the ice up for Callahan. Callahan takes a heavy hit and loses that puck. Coming the other way are the Owls. Here's a shot blockered aside by Hoffman. Callahan trying to find Brandonstein, but it ends up on the stick of Castricani. Sent down the ice behind the net. 11:30 left to go here in the first period. Your score is 0-0 here in the home opener of the Miami Hurricanes 2025-2026 hockey season. A stool in along the near side boards. Able to push it ahead for Koo. Koo pauses, shoots that one high. Big hit along the boards as a Hurricane and an Owl collide. And it ends up with the Owls as they try to stretch out of the zone. They've had a tough time tonight so far of trying to get out of the zone as there's a shot on net. Goes off as Watson reclaims the puck. There's a slap shot that's sticked away by Hoffman. Along the end boards, right in front. And it's pushed ahead by Kagan, who's got some speed and some numbers. He's got Koo with the Stoolin, but a Stoolin couldn't find that puck. Stoolin getting body checked along the boards. It's found by Ferry that goes off the mask of the goaltender for FAU. And here come the Owls. Miami's got to get back on the back check at Sudeikis. And there's a shot, they score! Sam Watson opens up the scoring here for the Hurricanes. Against the Hurricanes, excuse me. With 10:06 left to go in the first period. Sam Watson lit the lamp last night as well. And he's a very dangerous player on the ice when you give him time and space. And he made the Hurricanes pay there. It's 1-0 here for the Owls. Sudeikis stretch pass ahead to Michelini, who's held, and that's going to be a delayed penalty. Right ahead for Ferry, can't find the puck. And looks like Miami is going to head on the man advantage just seconds after FAU took the lead. That goal by Watson, assisted by Drew Renzi, as Alex Bartovicic will head to the box. So Miami with a chance to knot things up here in the first period. Michelini wins it back for Mensimer over to Sudeikis as the Hurricanes try to set up here. Mensimer on the near side boards, fans on that pass, ends up on a Stoolin stick. A Stoolin with the shot off the stick in front, and it trickles out of the zone into neutral ice. Sudeikis wheeling around the defensive zone into the neutral zone for the Hurricanes. He's behind the net now. Michelini picks it up behind the net. Over to Sudeikis, who loses it off his stick. And it's pushed ahead for the Owls by Baker. But Stoolin's able to get around Baker as the Hurricanes make a change. Stoolin trying to handle the puck as it gets trickled by Michelini. Mensimer. Saucer pass right in front. Off a couple of sticks, another try. Blocked by an Owl in front. And it's cleared down the ice. Great job on the penalty kill there by the Owls. Able to block shots in front, get the puck out of harm's way, and Miami will have to regroup in their own end. 40 seconds left to go in the power play for the Hurricanes. Stoolin loses that puck as Watson's able to send it down. Remy Kagan now trying to set up with the Stoolin. He loses it in the ref's skates and it gets sent back down. 10 seconds left to go in the man advantage for the Hurricanes. 8 minutes left to go in the first period. Jack Jusko, as penalty expires. Just a great penalty kill there by the Owls to stop the Hurricanes from even thinking about tying this hockey game, as that one will get sent down for an icing on the Hurricanes, so it'll head for an offensive zone draw for the Owls. Miami with their second line out there of Jutsko, Way, and McGuire. As that shot goes off the side of the glass, it's able to be kept in. Miami found themselves trying to go out of the zone with Way and Jutsko. They got to go back and back check as Hoffman is able to stick it ahead. Moore kept in by a couple of Owls. Right on net, and that one flies onto the far side board. Another opportunity right on. Pandemonium in the slot as that one goes ahead for Moore. A 3-on-1 opportunity for the Hurricanes. Kagan on his stick, and it goes just wide. Kagan had a great opportunity, just kind of backskate a little bit too much as he finds it back on his stick. A great opportunity for the Hurricanes missed as Callahan comes through and crosses the blue line. There's Butchie Gross who gets it for the Hurricanes. Heavily guarded there by Moore, who loses his stick and is able to outbody Butchie Gross. Back up to Castricani. Castricani gets it to neutral ice, and it's sent down. Puck now at neutral ice. Del Duco battling with a couple of Owls, and it's sent down. Miami not with the start that they had last night. They had 4 goals in the first period last night, thanks to a pair of power play goals from both Riker Ferry and Ilana Stulin. But so far, it's been no dice for the Hurricanes as Castricani goes in the defensive end and goes to work. Brendenstein pushes it ahead. Both teams make their respective changes as Castricani looks to wheel. Battle in the corner. Brendenstein freed up for Watson. And another outbreak pass here for the Owls. It's Drew Renzi who had the assist from the goal from Watson, but he loses that puck. Renzi once again with Mensimer on him. Mensimer able to free that puck, and it's set ahead. Here's a shot, goes off of Hoffman, and an opportunity for the Hurricanes as that stretch pass is just free. There's a shot, goes saved by the Owls. Miami was able to get an on-man opportunity, and with another great offensive opportunity, Miami has really controlled the possession for most of this period, but it's just that one goal by Watson that's the difference maker. As Miami gets it through a couple of sticks, FAU is able to find it behind their own net. Michelini able to find it in the corner, but Watson able to find some help with Renzi, and that one gets sent back for the Hurricanes. A centering try. Koo was there, but couldn't find the puck as Renzi shoots it down. Mensimer retreats and finds Zedekis. The puck finds its way to the Hurricanes' offensive zone as they make a couple of changes. The sophomore from Albuquerque, New Mexico, making his presence known on the forecheck. Michelini loses that puck, and Ferry with a shot goes just wide off the stick. Kept in by Koo. Koo with the centering try. No one was home, so it ended up on a couple of Owls' stick, and they regroup. Just over 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the first period. Your score 1-0 Owls, thanks to a goal by Sam Watson. Koo tries to push it ahead as Kagan shoots it down the ice. Important note for this Owls program, it wasn't their D3 team from last year, but their Division II team went all the way and won the national championship last year. So this shows the trend that the FAU Owls program is doing, as well as the plethora of students that come from the Northeast into that school. As Ferry goes behind the net, he's looking for some help, as that puck gets stripped and sent into the netting in the Hurricanes' offensive zone, so they'll recuperate. But both of these programs with a national championship under their belt, Miami with a national championship at the Division III level, and AAU in 2023 and the 2024 season, and FAU with one for the 2024-2025 season. So just shows how both of these programs are really on the up-go, as this puck is blown dead as Miami was caught offside. Phillips couldn't quite keep it in the zone. So this face-off will go just outside of the blue line. Jutsko able to win it back, and Castracani will take the puck. He gets that puck stripped by Butchie Gross as there's a collision out of the way, as some heavy collisions through neutral ice. Here comes Phillips with some speed. Phillips takes a shot that goes wide. Phillips, one of those freshmen that has been a really good addition for this Hurricanes team, as the Owls come the other way. Behind the net it goes. And we're going to have another arm in the air, as they're going to get a high stick, I believe is the signal. On the Owls, it seems, and Miami now with 2:09 left to go in the first will head on the man advantage. So that power play, if it were to go the whole way, will leave just about 9 seconds left to go in the first period. So this one, it would be a good way for the Hurricanes to get on the board and not tie it back up for the Owls, or for the Hurricanes, excuse me. Here's another try, and it's blown dead almost immediately. Face off on that near side circle as it's rang around the boards and sent all the way down the ice. Stooling goes through neutral ice with his really fast speed, able to get down low for Mensimer. Mensimer over to Zidakis. Zidakis waits, pivots. Back over to Mensimer. Back down low for a Stooling. Right inside for Ferry, and a great save by the Owls. Miami set up their power play unit exactly how they wanted it. This is a veteran power play here for the Hurricanes. They've got a plethora of grad students, juniors and seniors on this line that have a ton of experience, not only winning national championships, but playing at this high level as they try to make their print. As the Sulin takes a shot right in the pad. Great save, but Miami looks like they're trying to kind of orchestrate something here. Stulin is trying to maybe communicate as Fiery comes right inside off the top of the crossbar. A great opportunity for Riker Ferry right on in. Just roofed it. Michelini battling hard in the corner. Over to Ferry. Ferry right on in off the stick of an Owl and sent all the way down the ice. 55 left to go on the man advantage. Stulin comes up the ice now. We've seen this plenty of times before and many times last year. Stulin uses his speed. Goes outside. Goes for the wraparound. And elects to go around the ice as Zidakis goes up top. There's a redirect that goes wide. Kept in by Zidakis. Zidakis with a try that goes into the glove of the FAU goaltender. As Coach Tomamello will elect to make a change on the power play unit with 36 seconds left to go in regulation. So this will be the Hurricanes' last go on the power play. As that one's sent out. Anthony Barry tracking, almost intercepted that puck off the stick of Hoffman. And here comes Jusko. Jusko right in, and it's off the glove of the FAU goaltender. And oh my, what a great opportunity there for Jusko. He was able to find his way into the slot, and it headed off the glove and into the netting. 11 seconds left to go in the power play. It's won by Moore. Moore can't find the puck. Right on net for Jusko, and it just goes off the pad. Shot right on net. A second attempt by Moore, and the penalty expires. Here come the Owls for one last opportunity as that one goes wide, and that will do it for the first period of action. Your score after one, Miami 0, FAU 1, thanks to the goal from Sam Watson, the Delaware, Ohio junior. And with that, we will take a break for this first intermission. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Miami Hurricanes hockey on the Miami Hurricanes Hockey Network. Hello everyone, and we apologize for the technical difficulties as we just got underway here for the second period of play. It's FAU 1, Miami 0. Thanks to the goal from the junior Sam Watson from Delaware, Ohio. Tacking on a goal today as Miami comes in with Ferry up to Michelini. And that one is sticked away, sent through neutral ice and sent back for Michelini. Michelini goes for a backhanded pass that goes off the glass. McGuire will go D2D with Metzger. Stoolin back up to McGuire. McGuire with the shot, goes through a couple of bodies and is saved there by Matt McMillan. Thank you to those in the chat that were able to help us with some of the roster numbers. We really appreciate the help as we try to navigate this first week of hockey season. It's great to be back and calling these players that devote so much time for their programs and really grow the sport here, and not just South Florida, but all of college hockey. As here comes FAU the other way. There's a shot, goes off the pad. And there's another try right on. Into the back of the net, they score! FAU catches the Hurricanes sleeping in their own defensive zone. That was number 13 for the Owls. Fortunately, we do not have the name for them, but he tacks on the second goal of the night for the Owls. It's 2-0 here with 18-19 left to go. Just over a minute gone off the second period, but already FAU making their presence known again. Set down the ice for Kagan, but Miami was kind of sloppy in their own end, and it ended up causing them some trouble. They had issues like that last year as well, as they were just trying to stretch the ice out and get the breakout going, but they couldn't go, and that one ends up hurting them. That one sent down the ice for an icing on the Hurricanes, so it'll be an offensive zone draw here for the Owls. So a quick goal for the Owls as they make a change and get set for an offensive zone face-off. That's Jutsko taking on Baker. Jutsko behind the net. Hagan battling in front. Here's an opportunity right on, and it's blocked off a couple of Hurricanes. McGuire around the boards. The Owls keeping steady pressure on right in front of the net in the slot. Another opportunity, and it's kind of wearies on to Max Hoffman, and he makes the save. But Miami just not the start that they wanted coming out of the intermission. Tom Amello preaching about how he wanted Miami to stay clean defensively throughout this season and most of last season as well, and already showing some not good signs from last year as Phillips goes around the boards. It's up to Callahan. It's turned over right on, and a couple of Owls fight for it. It stays in the zone. Baker able to keep it in, and it's sticked away. Great stick by Brandon Stein to clear that puck. It's kept in for the Owls. Del Duca tries to find the puck. It's lost and ended up on Castricani's stick. He finds Callahan with some space. He's got an Owl on him who gets in the way. No arms in the air. Brennan Stein with another opportunity wrap around. Del Duca goes right on. Brennan Stein back up to D, but misses the pass from Castricani, and it gets sent down the ice. Hoffman will be forced to play the puck, the right pass to Phillips. Phillips pressured by a couple of Owls, and there's another defensive turnover for Miami in their own zone. But Castriconi's able to find it, and that one gets sent all the way down the ice, and that will be blown dead for another Miami Hurricanes icing. 16 minutes left to go in the second period, but just great offensive presence so far for the Owls in the second period. They've really outmatched Miami offensively thus far. Shot right on, and it's saved. Miami will make a wholesale change everyone on the ice. Send their top line out there. But Miami really just not going back to what they did last night in the first period. They were so explosive on offense, really outskated the Owls in that first period, and ever since then, it's been all Owls hockey. As here's a turnover in the defensive zone, a booming hit, a rebound, puck is lost in front, and Miami will clear the zone with a Stuhlin. A Stuhlin has got Michelini with him, off the stick, it's on Michelini's stick, it goes off, the second chance, as Stuhlin tries to find it behind the net, somehow stays out and bodies collide in front. A great save by Mac McMillan. As Mensimer delivered the boom back there in the defensive zone for the Hurricanes. It was one of those welcome to college hockey moments. Mensimer, who's been very experienced, he's a national champion at the Division III level for AAU and has played multiple seasons for the Hurricanes, really instilling the physicality here. Sadek is able to keep it in the zone. There's a shot that goes off the netting. Sadek is right on, and a great save by the Hurricanes. Riker Ferry wins that one back. That one's sent ahead. Mensimer with a slap shot. It goes high. A great slap shot opportunity for Mensimer. The grad student, excuse me. He's really just been kind of that enforcer defensively for the Hurricanes for multiple years. As that one gets sent down the ice, no icing. Renzi chasing on it with Kagan. Jutsko able to find that puck. Kagan frees it up to Moore. Moore chasing it down as that one goes back to McGuire's stick. At neutral ice are the Owls. Offside they go as they got a little antsy. That was Renzi. Got a little antsy going in the zone. He had Anthony Barry right behind him. Some collision right on, right outside that blue line. Remy Kagan goes D to D with McGuire. Up ahead, Way looking to make his presence known, but they lose the puck, and here come the Owls the other way. Shot saucers wide, and it's picked up by Moore. Moore has Way and McGuire. Moore with a shot goes above the crossbar. Another try by McGuire wide. Del Duco tries to keep it in the zone, but it's picked up by a couple of blue jerseys, and it's sent to the blue line. There's a shot blocked by McGuire as he tries to find Brandenstein for a stretch pass, but Brandenstein couldn't find it. On the far boards now, as Miami was in the midst of making a change, they got to be careful. In the corner, Castracani trips it forward. And it's sent for the Owls. Coming up with speed now. Here comes an opportunity right on. There's Baker right in, but it's taken away by Del Duco. And it's sent down the ice. No icing as it was past the red line. And here come the Owls the other way. 12:45 left to go in the second period. The Owls not able to establish themselves offensively in the zone there, so Callahan able to find it, but it's blown dead for a hand pass. So this one will be I believe, a neutral zone face-off toward the Miami defensive end. Ilana Stulen takes on Sam Watson. And Watson wins it back, but it's right to the Hurricanes. Around the boards it goes for a Stulen. Picked up by the Owls at neutral ice. Sudeikis tries to steal it, but he can't find the puck. Watson with a shot. Off a pad, rebound, and a great pad save. Rebound, they score! Anthony Barry, his first of the night. The third goal for the Owls. It's 3-0 here in the second period with 12:03 left to go in the second period. You just had a feeling that top line of the Owls was going to break through once again, and there it was as Miami tried to clear it from their own defensive zone, but a great move, great shot by the Owls to extend their lead to 3. It's Ilana Stulen now into the far corner. That one goes right into the netting. And it will be a Miami offensive zone face-off with under 12 minutes left to go. A Stulen with Mensimer, shot wide. Another opportunity right on, rebounds, sent wide. Another centering feed that goes out of the zone, and Miami will have to recuperate with Sudeikis. Sudeikis with the stretch pass to Ferry in the neutral zone. Stulen's able to find it on his stick. He's waiting for some white jerseys for some help. But it ends up on the stick of Renzi for the Owls. Renzi with Butchie Gross. Butchie Gross right in, and a great save by Max Hoffman. We'll see if we'll be able to send you the replay here. Looks like we won't be able to. We apologize for the technical difficulties, but what a great job by Hoffman. As Butchie Gross found himself all the way in, and it could have been potentially a 4-goal lead for the Owls, but Hoffman was standing between his pipes strong. Hard hit on the near side boards. As Miami recuperates. McGuire with a pass that's off a couple of FAU Owls and ends up on Remy Kagan's stick. That one backhanded down by Michelini. and handled behind the net by the Owls. Turnover. Harry was able to stick it away, but it's taken back over by the Owls. Back and forth they go. As there's a turnover in their defensive zone. A whiff shot, and it goes through neutral ice. As Stuhlin tries to use his speed to get around the defenseman. Looking for some help as Miami's making a change. Ferry's able to pick it up behind the net. Hard hit behind the play, and Stuhlin's not able to find the puck as FAU looks to wheel. Right on in for the Owls, number 21, as there's a shot saved by Max Hoffman. A great save, point blank range. But Miami's got to find ways to dig out of this 3-goal hole that they found themselves in. They lost yesterday by 3 goals as well and weren't able to really get anything going past the first period. And it's more of the same here in the second game. Just not being able to finish the forechecks. As Brendan Moore has something to say about it. Jutsko goes backhand. It goes off his stick and taken over by the Owls. That one's sent down the ice and in for an icing on the Owls. So an offensive opportunity now for Miami as they have an offensive zone draw. But as we mentioned in the pregame, outside of Ilana Stuhlin, Riker Ferry, and Chris Michelini, no goal scorers for Miami. So they've got to get more contributing from their guys like Way, who just has bursted on the scene as a freshman. Jutsko right on. Goes behind the net. Up to Phillips. Phillips with the try. And it's gobbled up there by McMillan. So here's some pressure from Miami, something that they've been looking for here in the second period. There's a try off the blocker. Castricani with a try. It's off a couple of bodies. Butchie Gross takes it and is able to clear it. Jutsko goes down the ice. Brendan Moore in the corner. He gets bodied hard against the Zamboni doors. It's freed and taken by Way. Way finds a shot off a blocker by McMillan. A great opportunity as a cross check behind the play. There's a try. It goes off the stick of McMillan. Brendan Moore with the turnaround try off the stick once again. And Miami with some really quality chances on net. That's how you get it going. They just got to find that loose change that's getting left right out in front as FAU recuperates. There's another try right in front. The players can't find it. It's on top of Way, it seems. As there's a hand pass. Then they're just going to blow this one dead. Way found himself on top of the puck. He was getting cross-checked in the back. And Way decided to just push it ahead with his glove, and it ended up right on goal. But obviously it was blown dead. So now it will be Del Duco right outside of the Hurricanes offensive zone. That tried to get shot in by Mensimer, and it's ended up turned over by Zadakis, but he's able to find the puck. That one's sent all the way down, and it's going to be another icing on the Hurricanes. So Miami still looking for that first goal. The Owls defense has been doing a good job of eliminating any pressure from Miami, but it's really been Matt McMillan who's found his way to just saving everything in his grasp and really been the difference maker this game. FAU with constant pressure here. As that one sticked ahead off the glass and falls out of the zone. In neutral ice they go. FAU just completely has controlled most of the possession for the second period. And they've made it count on offense as well. Mensimer draped on the Owls, and it's sticked away by Zidakis. Still kept in by the Owls, though, as Miami tries to get out of the zone. As there's going to be a tripping penalty here, as seemed like one of the Owls that was behind the play, who was trying to escape with the puck, got tangled up with Mensimer. So Miami, when you think things are going bad for you on offense, they have another problem with a penalty kill now. And another opportunity for the Owls to really extend their lead here. The Owls really dominated this D3 conference last year. They were on first place for a long time, as here comes the Owls on their power play. Watson in the corner, back down low. Right in front, off a couple of skates, and then still stays in the zone. Right behind the net it goes. Another try off the pad of Hoffman, as that one's stretched free. Callahan elects to take a change and gets Elon Stulin on the ice. He's been a very good penalty killer for Miami, as well as Jack Jusko. Wrapping around are the Owls. Watson finds it on his stick. Back in front. Hoffman trying to track the puck. The Owls got exactly what they want to set up on their power play. Watson with a shot off the blocker of Hoffman. And it's sent along the boards. Jusko will go chase it. It ends up on McGuire's stick. But great job as both Stulin and Jusko found themselves out of the zone. It's still in for the Owls, as that one's turned over for Stulin. Stulin tries to use his speed to get around the FAU defenders. Stulin with a shot goes just wide. A great opportunity on the penalty kill for Miami as Watson comes the other way. In the corner now. Behind the net. Taking a ton of time here, just under 10 seconds left to go in the man advantage for the Owls. It seems like they wanted to take more of a possession here and try to drain the clock. Watson right with an opportunity right in front. Another try goes to just above the crossbar, and that penalty is killed for Miami, so Riker Ferry will step on the ice. Here comes a Stulin right on. Ferry with a try, and it somehow stays out. Matt McMillan with a great opportunity. Once again, we apologize for the lack of replays, but Miami with an excellent opportunity right on net with their top line. Ferry. And that one is clobbered up by McMillan. So Miami kills that power play for the Owls and really starts gaining momentum their way. But really the big issue is having your top guys being able to score is the biggest issue, but also just contributing from the other lines as well, like Jack Jusko and some of the other faces that were so familiar to scoring last year that just haven't been on the score sheet thus far. But here comes the freshman, Ryan Way, as he tries to get in the zone as he's offside. Stooling gets juked around by Butchie Gross. Back down low, pivots. And it's cleared almost, but somehow kept in by Butchie Gross. Eventually cleared out their neutral ice as Ryan Way comes with some speed. Way's got Ferry into the corner. Right up to Way. Way with the shot. Off a pad. And a great point-blank chance by Way to potentially open the scoring for the Hurricanes. But an even better save by McMillan. Zidakis with a try. Off a stick right in front. Zidakis looks to reload. Takes another try, and it's once again saved by Matt McMillan. So Miami really putting pedal to the metal here in their offensive zone ever since that penalty kill. It's really kind of lit a fire under the Hurricanes. They just need one to go through as there's a shot right on by Zidakis, and it's once again saved by McMillan. But Miami getting opportunities like that, eventually one will find its way in the back of the net. We know how that works in hockey, folks. Put things on the net and good things will happen. As Brennan Moore backhands that one behind the net. Callahan plays the puck. As that one gets sent wide. Pushed ahead. And intercepted by the Owls. Not for long as it's taken by the Hurricanes. Jutsko finds it through neutral ice. Miami still down in their 3-goal hole, but have looked more profound on offense ever since that penalty kill. But here comes FAU on a 3-on-2. And it's sticked away and intercepted by McGuire. Callahan tries to clear the zone, but it's taken away by the Owls. Moore was trying to finish a check along the near side boards. As there's a puck battle at neutral ice. Delayed offside as the Owls are going to make a change, and that one flies way into the bench. Look out. 1:47 left to go in the second period, and we'll have a neutral zone face-off. Once again, I'm Connor Stein calling all the action here for Miami and FAU. All this game has been is just pretty much FAU finding the opportunities that the Hurricanes have not been able to finish on, as Miami tries to get something before the period ends. Michelini behind the net. Over to Del Duco. Kagan with a try, right on, but it's sticked away. McGuire with a try. Off a couple of bodies. Del Duco on the backhands. Can't go. And Miami just can't finish. Just can't quite finish what they're looking for. Slap shot try off a stick right in front. Miami with another great opportunity. Under a minute to go, left to go in the second period. Kagan tries to make a move, but it's sticked away, and the official gets in the way of the Owls' attack, and Michelini will find the puck. He tries to break into the zone as Miami makes a change. Here comes Riker Ferry, who makes it off the bench. It's taken up by Anthony Barry for the Owls. He goes to a pass that goes to no one in particular and goes behind the net. Elon Stooling gets that puck disrupted by Watson. Watson right on, but it's deflected by Renzi behind the net. As Way tries to get out of the zone. Under 10 seconds left to go as Stooling pressures. Here comes Way, right on for Ferry, but it gets tangled up of a couple bodies, and that will do it for period number 2. FAU strengthening their lead to 3 goals. It's 3-0 Owls here after the second period. But before we go to break, we'd like to say, if you would like to support Miami Hurricanes hockey and help these boys get any kind of support, let's see if we can get it. I don't know if we will, but we will at the end of the game. Let's do that. Miami finds themselves down 3-0 here after 2 periods. And we will go to break for a 15-minute intermission, and then it's third period action here right from Kendall Ice Arena. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Miami Hurricanes hockey on the Miami Hurricanes Hockey Network. Hello, folks, and welcome back in to Kendall Ice Arena here in Kendall, Florida for the third period of action between the FAU Owls and the Miami Hurricanes. We'd like to put up the Venmo that we were going to do last period and just show that the ways to support the Miami Hurricanes. We'd also like to say that the Miami Hurricanes are currently down 3-0 to the FAU Owls. FAU has pretty much dominated Miami in terms of offense thus far. And we'd like to say, if you'd like to support Miami hockey for everything they do, whether it be new equipment, potential road trips in the future. I know the Canes are going to Florida Southern and Lakeland, and also the University of Tampa up in Clearwater, where I'm personally from. But to fund all of those types of things, we get it from this Venmo. So if you would like to, we appreciate any donation at all. Please consider donating to support Miami Hurricanes hockey. And also, we would like to thank Wells Fargo Advisors for their support of Miami Hurricanes hockey and the University of Miami Hockey Network as well. Thank you, Wells Fargo Advisors, for what you do for this program. And with that, we will get set for this third period of action. Just 20 minutes left to go for all third period. Miami's got to look to do something in terms of offense here. Miami will be in white, and they'll be going right to left because they are on the home team, and FAU will go left to right. I'm Connor Stein calling all the action here from Kendall as the Hurricanes will try to make an indent to this 3-goal lead that FAU has mounted. Behind the net now, it's the Hurricanes. As Stuhlin tries to break it out, but it wasn't able to do so. It's kept in by the Owls. Not for long as Adakis comes out with some speed. A fresh sheet of ice for both of these teams, and maybe some new hope for the Hurricanes' offenses. Stuhlin gets tangled up, and it goes to neutral ice. Mensimer will play with the puck. Both teams in the midst of a change as Mensimer is able to glove it down and get it through a couple of FAU defensemen. Stuhlin finds it on his stick. He'll wrap around, look for some help. Fans on the first pass, finds Callahan. Callahan with a backhanded try goes wide. The Owl is able to outlet out of the zone and goes down the ice. Hoffman elects not to play it, and Kagan battles with Renzi. Callahan able to find it on his stick up for Stuhlin, but he got tangled up with an Owl. So that puck misses his stick. Finds Watson. Watson up to Barry. Barry battling with McGuire through neutral ice. Kagan behind the net. Sends it in the corner, but no one was home as Watson picks up the puck. A centering try that's deflected by Jutsko as he goes into the corner. Frees it with his skate and sends it to McGuire. McGuire will send it along the boards. Kept in by the Owls and pushed ahead. Here comes Ferry and Jutsko. Ferry looking to take a shot and air mails it into the netting. He had that constant pressure from the Owls defenseman that may be delayed and kind of conflicted with the shot. But with 7:34 left to go, Miami will have an offensive zone face-off. Jusko loses that draw. Castricani sends it in as the Hurricanes look to get back onside. The Owls outlitting here. It's Wathermich who sends that one wide. And Akovsky in the corner. Up to Callahan, but Callahan couldn't find the puck. Phillips able to find Moore, but that puck gets taken away again. And a whistle behind the play as Moore and an Owl were tangled up. Moore looks like he's going to head to the Miami Hurricanes bench, so Miami will make a change with Zadakis coming on the ice. Actually, looks like Miami's just going to do a whole change and get some fresh skaters on the ice. That one flung down the ice behind the FAU net. And Anofsky in the corner. Gets it out of the zone to Mensimer. And Miami will look to regroup, but it's turned over. Here comes Anofsky into the slot, but it gets taken away by the Hurricanes. Mensimer looking to find a good connection, and it goes behind the net. Over for Michelini. Michelini up to Del Duco. Del Duco at the top of the zone to Mensimer. Mensimer with a try, gets blocked off the stick of an Owl, and Mensimer gets a little bit too physical, and it's going to be another penalty on Miami. It's going to be a hold on Max Mensimer, the captain of this Hurricanes team, who's been very vocal of his leadership. Heads back to the box, and that's his second penalty of the night. He struggled with penalties last year as well, and it's come up again this year. But Miami forced to pay for it in a 3-goal hole, and now they have to fill off 2 minutes of FAU power play, as that's a good start. Jutsko gets it out of the zone. FAU with Renzi trying to recuperate. Renzi behind the net. Looking for some help right on. Another centering feed goes off of Jutsko, and he'll get it out of the zone. That puck taken away by Jutsko right out of the blue line. A little 21-on-21 battle for both teams as it's cleared up by the Owls. Renzi comes in on the backhand, drop pass, and they don't score. They wave it off. It's waved off. FAU thought they had a goal for sure, and it's waved off by the official. Let's see if we can get the replay here as they get together. We just got the back half of it, but you see the confusion of some of the FAU players, as Miami might have caught a break there. It looks like it might have caught that back post. It just somehow found its way out of the net, and the FAU bench looks for an explanation. But man, that's a huge goal because FAU could potentially extend their lead to 4, but it looks like this will be a no goal. Coach Tamamello looks for an explanation, and they will play on. So a goal waved off for FAU, and a little bit of a break there for Miami on the penalty kill with a minute left to go and the man advantage for the Owls. Castricani goes in the corner and sends this one all the way down the ice. Callahan goes and chases it. Picked up, going through center ice is Renzi. Renzi gets that one poked away by Zidakis, and the Owls are forced back in the defensive zone. Drop pass for Watson. Great job on the blue line by the Hurricanes penalty killers, Jusko and Callahan. As they kind of extend up, they gotta be careful not to get caught behind the play. As there's a try, centering pass, goes just bouncing past the net. Renzi was right there to potentially put it in the back of the net, as that one is sent out of play by Castracani. Just great opportunity after great opportunity for the Owls, but a great kill by Miami to eliminate the penalty. So Miami gets out of that one goal free, as here comes Way. Way goes through neutral ice. Here comes Ferry with 3 Owls draped over him. Here comes Way with a shot. He scores! Ryan Way, the freshman. And that's his first goal of the year, his first goal of his University of Miami career. And the Canes cut the deficit to 2. It's 3-1 Owls. Let's take a look at this replay. It's a good job by Ferry, who drew a penalty. He had 3 Owls over him. Way picked up the loose change and just put it top shelf. A beautiful goal as Miami gets a little bit of juice back. It's 3-1 though, as they'll still have to find themselves in a bit of a hole. So at 13:47, Miami finally getting on themselves on the board offensively. Here come the Owls, though. They're keeping their pedal to the middle. Right in the corner. Shot wide. Astulin tries to find the puck. It's sent wide. And here comes Way trying to clear the puck. But that's what I was talking about in the pregame and then also before this third period. It's getting those players that want to contribute other than your big dogs of Astulin, Ferry, and Michelini. And Way is making his presence out. Here comes Astulin with some speed. Right on in! And a great save by McMillan. Astulin with Ferry. Ferry shot. Goes off a glove and is saved. It's been great opportunity after great opportunity for the Hurricanes, with Astulin able to get that puck to Ferry, and a Ferry with a great shot just got the tip of the glove of McMillan. But Miami with a little bit of that electric juice that some of the football team is using as well. Miami football plays USF in just a matter of minutes here. That one, Parents Weekend, it'll be a fun one to watch. I recommend tuning in just after the conclusion of this game. But folks, you don't want to miss the third period of this one. Michelini sends it down. Behind the net for the Owls. Moore tries to find the puck. It's sent down by Zidakis. And Miami really aggressive on the forecheck here. Right on net. Set aside. Mensimer from distance. Goes just wide. A second is hit. They score! Chris Michelini gets the loose change for the Hurricanes, and they cut the lead down to just 1. It's 3-2 FAU with just under 12 minutes left to go in the third period. We were talking about in the pregame how important it is to get pucks on net. Watch Mensimer get the puck on net, and the loose change is found by Michelini right on the doorstep. Michelini's second of the season, his first of the game. It's 3-2 Owls, excuse me. So just like that, it's a brand new hockey game, folks. Remy Kagan able to find Moore through neutral ice, and now Moore has some of that juice as well. The Owls trying to get it out of their own end, and they do so successfully. It's in the corner. Behind the net still, great forecheck by Del Duco there, but it's swiftly cleared out and picked up by McGuire. He'll backhand it, tries to find McGuire, but he can't do so as it's going to be blown dead for an offside. But man, has Miami really turned this game on its head. It was 3-0 coming into this third period, and all of a sudden FAU looks at the scoreboard and they're only up by 1, with Miami threatening with more offensive presence. Astulin able to pick it ahead. The senior comes into the zone in the corner. Zidakis at the point, and a great save by McMillan to kind of catch it across his body, but Zidakis is one of those snipers from the blue line that can really make you pay with some redirection. Nothing going there, as it's sent back by FAU. Picked away. Here comes Mensimer with Zidakis. Heavy pressure by FAU defensively. Astulin wraps around, looks for Ferry, goes top shelf, and it goes off the side of the net, and the net goes loose. As some extracurriculars, we'll take a look at this shot again. Astulin wraps around the net and just tries to get it top shelf right in between McMillan and the post. And some extracurriculars you can see as well. But Miami, with a little bit of confidence here, they're kind of showing what they showed in that first period of the first game. As another line combination comes out for both teams. And an arm will go up as Koo got tangled up with FAU. See if we can catch that one on a replay. That puck was won by Miami momentarily, and then Koo just got tangled up. And so just when Miami had some momentum, they got to go back on the penalty kill and kill another penalty. So Miami will send their penalty killers out. It'll be Jutsko, Mensimer, Zidakis, and Callahan to take on the top line of Watson, Renzi, and another plethora of Owl players as their bench is getting loud to try to install a flame under the Owls. Behind the net it goes. FAU looking for a backdoor potential opportunity as they're screaming from the bench here. Opportunity right on for Watson. Behind the net now. A draw and they score! Renzi finds some loose change right by the blue paint. And FAU, right when Miami thought they had FAU in their grasp, FAU makes them pay on the penalty kill. We watched behind the net. It was kind of looks like it was just stabbed in there by Renzi, who was behind the net to begin with. And now with 9:55 left to go, it's 4-2 Owls, but still plenty of game left. That just shows how important special teams have been for both of these teams. It's really important to get those penalty kills as McGuire just watches that one go out of the zone. That one turned over, but it's delayed offside. Castricani misses the pass on way. And it's sent down behind the net. Butchie Gross comes up with some speed. He gets that puck taken away by Stulin. Stulin back up to Castricani, sent wide. McGuire comes down from his traditional defenseman position. Hard battle in the corner. And that one's kept in by Way. Way with a shot off a stick. Stulin around, looking to make a move. Backhand, he scores! What a beautiful goal there by Elon Stulin on the backhand through the slot. And Miami cuts the lead back down to 1 with under 9 left to go. Elon Stulin decides, I'm going to do it by myself. Gets it off the side of the post. And oh, what a beautiful goal that was with some more extracurriculars after the play. Your score now 4-3 in favor of FAU as the officials discussing some of those extracurriculars that were taking place. But the senior from Newtown, Pennsylvania, who led the team in goals last year, gets another one to tack on. His second of the season thus far. And Miami and FAU really going back and forth, exchanging punches here. Watson and Michelini. That one sent back down by Butchie Gross. Sent down, hard battle in the corner. Del Duco goes behind the net. Kept around for Miami. Back up top, Mensimer with the shot, goes wide off a couple of bodies. Zidakis back down low behind the goal line. Michelini with the try in the slot. Oh, what a save! Miami's done a great job in this third period installing that pressure on offense. And oh, Michelini with a great try. He got some time, he got some space, and got a great shot on net, but an even better save by McMillan as Mensimer keeps this one in. Callahan, and that one once again gloved aside. FAU finds themselves on their heels defensively, trying to get this puck out of the zone, but it's kept in by Mensimer again. Not for long, but it finds its way on the stick of Jutsko through neutral ice as that one goes off the side, near side glass. Callahan behind the net, pivots, looking for some help. He's got two Owls on him. Into the corner. Back up for Zidakis. Zidakis right in, looks for a pass, but it's intercepted by the Owls and flicked ahead. And it's eventually covered by Hoffman. .741 left to go in regulation. And folks, this one has really just turned a lot more interesting. It was 3-0. And then Miami's offense woke up after some really physical hits and then just some really pretty goals as that one is saved by Hoffman again. But that last one by Elon Stulin right on the backhand was able to find the far post and got it in the back of the net. Pretty goal. As the Owls are still in the offensive zone for the Hurricanes. Here's a couple picks in front. Another try, blockered away, and Miami able to keep it out of the zone. Ferry finds the bouncing puck, and Way finds himself offside, so Ferry will not touch that puck. It's taken away by the Owls. The Owls still have the lead, though. They can play possession all they want. It's going to be on Miami to get their lead and maybe even tie the game at that. As here comes Watson over with Nenzi. Right in. Rebound, another try, and that one is gloved there by Hoffman. Renzi tried to get something going that he had in his last goal. He had the most recent goal for FAU, and he kind of was behind the net on the power play and was able to get it home, but that's really difference maker. FAU, has 2 power play goals thanks to Renzi and Watson, and that's really difference maker in this game for Miami in terms of special teams, as Del Duco goes to chase that puck down into the corner. Zidakis recollects at neutral ice. Michelini along the near side circle. And it's going to be another delayed penalty here. We'll see exactly who it's on, as there's a scrubbage in the corner. It's going to be, looks like they're signaling a hold. We'll see who exactly it's on. It's going to be a hold here on FAU. So another power play opportunity for Miami, and that's just a bad mistake from FAU. You get a holding call there on number 13 for the Owls. I apologize for not knowing the name. We were still waiting on confirmation officially from official rosters, but FAU finds themselves on the penalty kill, down 1. Here's a shot from Stulin. Great save by McMillan near side, and it's somehow kept away. Sadek is able to keep it in the zone. Distance try wide. Stulin wheels on the blue line. Goes to Mensimer. Right on in, as that one was sticked in. There's Way over to Stulin. Stulin finds the space in the circle. He takes a shot, and it's saved by McMillan. Mensimer keeps it in, and it's intercepted there by Watson and sent up by Renzi and covered by Hoffman. But man, what a great opportunity with plenty of space for Ilana Stulin, who could have had a great opportunity there right on. But it's going to be a defensive zone draw and an offensive zone draw for FAU here on the penalty kill. That one gets stuck in between some skates and is eventually collected by McGuire to Zidakis. Way, who already has a goal tonight, finds a Stulin. A Stulin finds Ferry, and that one goes wide. The slap shot try. Way right in. That one's blocked. And here comes FAU on the back check as McGuire doing a great job on defense, taking Mitchie Gross out of the play, and great job defensively on FAU. Here comes a Stulin with 33 left to go in the man advantage. He looks for Ferry. Ferry! He scores! Riker Ferry with the pass from Stulin. And the Canes tie this one up 4-4 with 4:36 left to go in the third period. Great entry here by Stulin, able to get the speed and spaced out, and then Ferry was able to find the puck right on his stick. In a great finish by Riker Ferry. Ferry had 2 goals last night and adds to that column, as it looks like Miami might be taking a timeout here. Both teams at their respective benches, as this one has just really gotten out of hand in terms of scoring. Miami just putting 4 on the board here in the third period, to tie it all the way back up. As both teams still at their respective benches, we'd like to thank you for watching this version of Miami Hurricanes Club Hockey on the University of Miami Hockey Network. Miami really showing their resilience and how they can battle through adversity. They were down 3 goals heading into this third period and were able to crack it open and really just turn on the Jets as the officials blow the whistle, and it looks like we'll have another neutral zone face-off right after the goal, as Miami now kind of shifts their focus to potentially taking a lead, man. Could you imagine just a minute, just before that third period started, man, if some of the things that we were talking about was not tying the game, and now we're talking about potentially taking the lead for Miami. And FAU has just found themselves on the wrong side of this offensive duel. And they started really strong. And now Miami has all the momentum, but there's still 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in regulation. Here comes Callahan. That one's sent down. Zidakis takes it behind the net. It's taken by Renzi. Renzi, and that one's sticked aside by Hoffman. That one didn't look like it was going to end up on net, but it did. FAU comes out of the timeout looking a lot stronger. They're still keeping that solid pressure. Renzi gets that puck stripped away, and it's sent ahead for Brendan Moore just a little bit too far, but no icing as it's waved off. Callahan behind the net, but it's taken ahead by Watson. Moore able to find Jutsko in neutral ice, and it gets covered by McMillan. 3:33 left to go in regulation, as this mostly parents crowd, because it is parents weekend here at the University of Miami, is rejuvenized here at Kendall Ice Arena. Miami sends their top line back out there. Looks like Ryan Way will also get some starting reps there as well. He's had a tremendous game with a goal already. Castricani with the distance try. Rebound! Riker Ferry couldn't find it, and it's taken away by the Owls. Pushed up ahead, but intercepted by the Owls. That one sent through neutral ice. Way loses his footing. Riker Ferry over to a stolen right in, and it's saved. A great save and some extracurriculars. And now it's getting out of it as Ferry and some others go after it, but Elon Astulin had that one, but a great save by McMillan as you see some of the extracurriculars starting there, but now here's the aftermath as both teams look to settle themselves down. We'll see what the officials decide to do here, as there was some extra shoving. Looks like they're going to get at least Riker Ferry. They're going to get Ferry and one of the Owls, that's Rothmich. Andrew Rothmich also heads to the box, so we'll see what they call this. It could be potentially 4-on-4. Yeah, it is. I believe that is the signal. So for 2 minutes, we will go to 4-on-4 hockey here at Kendall Ice Arena. FAU wins that drawback, and it's sent to neutral ice. FAU now with some speed on the 4-on-4. There's a try, a rebound, no good, sent wide. And another costly turnover in the defensive zone. 20 seconds tick off of the power play, or of the 4-on-4, excuse me. The officials trying to calm both sides down as it'll be an offensive zone draw for FAU on the near side, or on the far side circle. Callahan able to push that one out. And it's behind the net now for the Owls. Through neutral ice, it's Renzi. He's got Watson. Watson with a shot blocked off the skate of Sudeikis and pushed ahead for Callahan. Callahan with it now over him, looking to make a shot, and it goes off the stick of McMillan. A great opportunity for Callahan is denied. Mensimer tries to split, but it ends up on Watson's stick. The backhanded try is no good. Oh my goodness, what a great opportunity for Watson, who found Mensimer sleeping, going through his own defensive zone, and a great shot, but it goes just high. So with 1:54 left to go, FAU will have another chance in the offensive zone. Butcher Gross with a shot, and it's saved again by Hoffman. You can really tell the energy for both sides is really amped up here in this third period, and it's caused some tempers to flare, resulting in this 4-on-4 that we're now in. As Way goes through, as he gets blown up right past the blue line. Astulin now, he's looking for some help. He finds Way. Way with a shot. And that one's blocked aside. Rebound, no one home. And FAU will come out with it, but it's taken away by Way. Way with a shot. Off the blocker again. And he takes another shove. But it'll be, because that puck went out of play thanks to the shot of Way, it'll be an offensive draw for Miami. Way takes a shot that trickles by. And here comes Watson and the Owls with some speed. Just over a minute to go. Watson with a shot, patted away, and Astulin with an opportunity with Way on a 2-on-1. Astulin comes in, and it's saved by McMillan, and Way goes into the net hard. We'll see if he's doing okay. Just under a minute to go left in the period. Still knotted up 4-4 with some hard contact on both Astulin and Way. It looks like Coach Tomamello will elect to take a timeout as Way gets checked on by the medical trainers. But let's just talk about how we got here. FAU came out hard in the first period and got a power play goal thanks to Sam Watson in the first period that made the score 1-0. And then they tacked on another pair in the second period, making it 3-0. And then Miami came storming back to make it 3-2 thanks to a couple power play goals. And then all of a sudden, FAU came and got a power play goal of their own. And then now another goal by Miami. So this one's just been back and forth this whole entire third period to where we are now. Currently sitting 4 apiece as Coach Tomamello tries to get his, well, not his top line anymore, as Way, which is a big loss for the Hurricanes, takes a breather and gets some much needed water. And Ferry loses that draw to the Owls. 50 seconds left to go in regulation. Zidakis can't find that puck. It's sent up in the air. Settled back down, sent towards the net, but shot back out of the blue line. Zidakis behind the net. That puck gets kind of stuck there. Kept in by the Owls. Centering try, and it's saved. Man, that try there on the near side corner, it was kind of one of those shots that didn't look like it was going to be a whole lot, and then Hoffman really had to kind of just stay where he was and kind of soak up that puck. As Zidakis tries to clear it for Callahan. Callahan tries to get it out of his skates. He does so successfully. 12 seconds left to go. They got to get a shot off as Callahan can't find it on his stick. And with under 5 to go, FAU with an opportunity to get a shot. That one flies over the net and the clock expires. And it looks like it will be 3-on-3 overtime here for the last, I believe, 5 minutes. I think the ruling is. So some overtime hockey here in Kendall between these two teams here on Parents Weekend at the University of Miami. So the ruling from the ACHA is it's 3-on-3 overtime. Both teams will switch sides. So they will attack. So Miami will attack from left to right, and FAU will go from right to left. But man, this game has really taken a full spin as Miami and FAU will go at it for a 3-on-3 overtime. And also the strategy in these situations are also very important as well, because in 3-on-3s, breakaways are a common courtesy, it almost seems, as one team gets too caught up in their forecheck and then all of a sudden the puck breaks loose and the other team will have an opportunity on a one-on-one with the goaltender. So it all depends on how each team will play this. But it looks like both teams will switch sides. FAU is going to send out a defenseman and 2 forwards, while Miami will send out the same exact 2 forwards and a defenseman. It's one back by a stool in for Ferry. Up for Zidakis. Zidakis wheels, goes to the neutral zone. Goes up the ice. Zidakis drops the puck off. Stolen up to Ferry. Ferry with a shot. No, it gets deflected and it's sent out. Renzi with Watson next to him as Miami was in the midst of making a change. Ferry now with Medsimer. To neutral ice at the center circle. Ferry taking a shot, goes wide. And Miami gets another change. It's Callahan back on the ice. FAU still yet to make a change. Watson tries to drop it back up, but it's Way that picks it up off the turnover. Way with some speed gets that puck sticked away. And it's stuck in the corner with Renzi. Watson, who opened up the scoring tonight, finds the puck back over to Renzi. Back to Watson. Stick that one away, and there's Way. Way over to Callahan. Callahan gets bodied hard, but is able to maintain possession. He's able to find the puck off a spin around, and then it ends up on Watson's stick. Watson and this line have been out there for a very long time for the Owls as Watson goes to make a change. Miami will do so as well. Mensimer gets the puck stuck in the skates of a referee, and it's not covered by Hoffman, but it's blown dead, and the official will take responsibility for that one as there's 3:02 left to go in the game. Offensive zone draw for FAU. One back by Miami. Good move by Asulin. He's got more. He makes a good move, goes to the slot, and it's blocked aside, and there's a shove by Moore as there's gonna be some extracurriculars as both players go at it in the net. And just as we thought tempers were not gonna flare again, the goaltender McMillan falls, and Moore, whose helmet went through about 10 feet of airtime, will head to the box. So FAU will go on a 2-minute minor and there's only 2:47 left to go in the game. So if Miami were to kill this off, there'd be only about 47 seconds left. It's like both coaches are going to get an explanation here in a second. Looks like there's an FAU Owl that's been thrown out of the game at least. So 2 players have been thrown out of the game. It's going to be Brennan Moore and then number 13 for the Owls, who we do not have the name of. So both of them will head to the locker room, I would say early, but we're in an overtime period, so they're going where they're supposed to be. And it will be an offensive zone draw for FAU, as looks like it'll be 3-on-3. No, they're going to give FAU an extra skater. So they're going to give FAU an extra skater despite 2 players, or a player from each side, getting ejected. So it'll be 4-on-3 hockey with 2:47 left to go. FAU keeping it in the zone. Behind the net it goes. Right in. Near side shot. Second try, they score! FAU wins it in overtime and storms the ice in Miami despite their comeback, down 3-0. Finds themselves on the losing end of a hard-fought battle. We'll see if we got that replay. We just got the celebration, but a hard-fought game between 2 teams that are really strong in this conference. And Miami will go down 0-1 in the standings, while FAU will head to 1-0. So a big win to start the slate of M3 hockey in the ACHA for the FAU Owls. But we'd like to thank you so much for watching this edition of Miami Hurricanes hockey on the University of Miami Hockey Network. The Miami Hurricanes lose 5-4 in overtime to the FAU Owls despite their 3-goal comeback. And that will do it from us here from Kendall. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you soon.